It is a beautiful day, so if you have a few minutes, come and sit next to me virtually and let's talk about a subject that's of mutual interest, our happiness. After all, let's face it, is there a better place to sit than right here in this beautiful garden? Microdacism is a word that I formed based upon the thoughts of Microdac, and Microdac is me. So what I'm about to say are all based upon personal opinion, Microdacism, and they're my views if you are to pursue the path of personal happiness. If we are to be happy, we must by all means erase a lifetime of mistaken beliefs. We must see God as a creation of mankind and then see God for what it is, a purveyor of unhappiness, guilt, shame, and discontent. We must see the God in ourselves instead, and then work towards our own perfection. We must see and appreciate this fact. The purpose of life is to be happy. To be happy means to pursue everything that is sensual, loving, kind, just, and beautiful to make it so. It is difficult to solve a problem that's not recognized as a problem. We need to see hate, for example, for what it is and eliminate hate from our lives. We do that by looking at hate squarely for what it is in ourselves. There's nothing you can do about someone hating you if you did nothing to earn that hate. So therefore, do not allow someone else's perception to influence you. Look at your own hatred and make the necessary corrections. It's a must if you are to move on. We also need to see envy for what it is and eliminate envy from our lives. Envy is useless. If you admire the accomplishments of another, then learn what it takes for you to make the same accomplishments if it is important to you, and then do so. We need to see jealousy for what it is and eliminate jealousy from our lives. Stop being in love and truly love the other person or persons in our lives, which means that you are willing to allow the other to grow, be independent, be happy, to achieve and to become the best that he or she can be without prejudice or any sense of ownership and control. To be in love suggests a degree of ownership, and no one should be owned by another. We should use things and not use people. We need to see greed for what it is and eliminate greed from our lives. In doing so, we will realize that we have a lot more that we can use effectively. To want more than is needed is useless. To own something because such ownership deprives another is pretty childish. In other words, appreciate gratitude rather than greed. We need to see and appreciate the healing powers of forgiveness. One master suggested that one should forgive 70 times 7. I don't think that's enough. It's been my experience that forgiving everyone, everywhere, for everything is a great way on the path of achieving happiness. It is not important that you forget the hurt. Use the hurt as lessons to overcome towards your path towards perfection. We also need to embrace our own sense of self in every way. Erase all doctrines and dogmas that suggest that you are less than who you are. That is something that has to be done if you are to continue on your path to happiness. Look in the mirror and love that vessel you see as your temporary home for your eternal spirit. Be sensual, be gifted, be physical, be mental, and be spiritual to the absolute best that you can be. Eliminate shame and guilt and reject those who insist that you embrace those negatives in your life. We need to control our ego and not allow our ego to control us. Pursue that one thing that completes you and do so with all your heart and soul. But first you must define what is that one thing that makes you unique and special. What is it? So what we do not for applause or praise, but because it is what you do to be the absolute best human being that you can be on your path to perfection and happiness. Granted that perfection is almost unattainable, but that does not mean that you should not try to attain perfection. Indulge me, please, because some things are worth repeating. We need to control our ego and not allow our ego to control us. Define and pursue that one thing that completes you, and do so with all your heart and soul, not for applause, not for praise, but because it is what you do on your path, and it is because what you do to the best of your ability. Be generous, be kind, and share what you have. Of course, these are my thoughts, and these are the flaws that I am working on myself. You, however, must think for yourself.